midnight. A time for quiet, for rest. No rest for him. On the move, gliding through the darkness. The steel plate in his skull glinting in the moonlight. He has no solace, no peace from the sounds, the voices which fill his head. Must find them, silence them, crush out the life. The pain that blinds him, compels him and drives him to violent, unspeakable acts.
Celia! Don't do that.
You sit in comfort and safety, and you don't want to know. You want to cover your ears, stop my voice, but you can't. You have to know what happened.
It's kind of tough grading papers with that.
You're losing work.
This is the best part.
It's very late, very dark. The air bites at you, chills your bones. You're heading for your car, and then you hear it. He's coming for you from out of the dark. In no hurry. He doesn't have to hurry. You're at your car. Keys. Where are the keys? You search in your pocket, in your suit. You need more time. There is no more time. You have the keys now. You fumble to unlock the door. Your fingers are clumsy. At last, the door is open. Your heart is pounding as you rush into your car and shut the door. And then you listen. You look around. You see no one. He's gone away. Returned to the darkness. Or so you think. His hands grip your head. An unimaginable power gives him the strength to squeeze and squeeze. Release. Wonderful release. He returns to the shadows, satisfied, but only for a moment. Soon the pain will begin again, and the crusher will search the night for another victim. Blood will flow. Until tomorrow, dear listeners, this is Mason Driscoll signing off.
I just know I'm gonna have nightmares.
Why listen to it?
To find out what happens.
Well, Celia, it's just a story.
I know, but, you know, the way he tells it, it sounds so real. You've got to admit there are incredible similarities. The victim was alone, late at night, killed in her car, and her skull was fractured.
Which is also what happens when people are murdered with blunt objects.
Both sides of her head were crushed.
As if by superhuman strength.
Right. And in Driscoll's story, the crusher has a metal plate in his head, which absorbs radio waves, giving him superhuman strength.
Celia, it's ridiculous.
That doesn't mean it isn't true. On some level.
So you think this broadcast is coming true on some level?
Maybe the killer is telepathically linked to Driscoll, becoming the Crusher. Or the other way around, Driscoll unconsciously drawing his stories from an actual murderer's mind. Oh, well, what's your theory?
Well, either someone heard the broadcast and is imitating the murder, or it's all just coincidence.
And you've always said that the best discoveries begin with coincidence.
I've never said that.
I'm paraphrasing.
An unconscious telepathic bond between myself and that woman's killer? I never thought I'd say this to anyone, but I think you've been listening to too many of my stories.
Mr. Driscoll, all I'm saying is that it is worth investigation. I mean, there may be some way that we can help the police find the murderer.
You're determined to play amateur detective, aren't you? Next, you're going to ask me if I've gotten any crazy fan mail.
Have you?
No, nothing to suggest that some listener's gone off the deep end, imitating the Crusher in real life. Perhaps you think I did it. It's late at night. Driscoll's alone, broadcasting from a tiny campus radio station. He claims he performs live, but actually, he's sneaking out while a tape is running, murdering helpless victims.
You don't seem very concerned that a woman is dead.
If I thought it might be remotely my fault, I'd be concerned.
I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm saying that there might be some kind of paranormal connection between your broadcast and the murder.
And your colleagues at the Department of Parapsychology feel the same?
We've discussed various possibilities.
Let me put your mind at rest. If there is actually a copycat killer out there, I guarantee you he won't be able to imitate tonight's story.
How?
Stay tuned. Midnight. Radio waves fill the air. Invisible, inaudible to you and me, but to him, a constant agony. The steel plate in his skull picks up these emissions, transforming them into a horrible, never-ending cacophony of pain. His torment grows stronger, drawing him inexorably out of the shadows and onto the street. The Crusher walks again. Tonight, his target is no random unfortunate. Tonight, the Crusher seeks vengeance. Revenge against the very man who caused the Crusher's tragic accident. A rich man, cultured, privileged, smug, living high in his penthouse. He thinks he's safe, but he's wrong. For the Crusher can climb. Radio energy coursing through his skull, electrifying him, giving him an inhuman strength. His fingers dig into the masonry, carving out purchases where none exist. Inch by inch, pulls himself 10 stories up the impossible side of the building. Onto the balcony. The air is bitter cold, but the Crusher is oblivious to the chill, aware only of his pain and his burning rage, his relentless hatred for the man who turned him into a freak and a monster. That man will pay. No force on earth can stop the Crusher from taking his terrible revenge. He's in the penthouse now. He's moving across the room towards the man. The man is up late. He's watching a movie. The man starts. That sound wasn't from the television. He turns and sees him. He can't believe it. That face, those eyes. The man grabs a fireplace poker, swings it desperately. No use. The Crusher snaps the poker in two. The man cowers, whimpering in fear. The crusher grabs his head and begins to squeeze. The man's eyes bulge as the terrible pressure builds and builds and builds. Release. Wonderful release. And for the moment, there is only silence. Blessed silence.
The man's skull was fractured, crushed on both sides, just like the victim in the parking lot.
And the police found finger marks gouged into the side of the building, as if someone had climbed it with their bare hands.
Nobody could do that.
Nobody human.
The woman described her husband's killer as looking exactly like the Crusher, even though she's never heard your radio program. But when you're on the air, telling your stories, what do you experience?
On a good night, I'm really rolling. It's almost as if I can feel the audience. As if their energy is feeding back through the antenna into me.
Maybe all those people focusing on your words, listening to how you describe it, brought it to life. And maybe the radio transmissions themselves add to that power.
But if I have somehow actually created this monster, how can I stop it?
Perhaps by telling one last story about the Crusher.
With a new ending. Midnight. Once again, radio waves fill the air, filling his head with pain. Once again, the Crusher walks. He's hungry now. He's hungry for peace. Tonight, he'll find it in a new way, a lasting way. Tonight, his anguish will end. Tonight, he will rest. The rest he's longed for. The tranquility he sought for so many months. For tonight, the Crusher will die. This is Mason Driscoll, inviting you once again to turn down the lights, gather close, and listen as our story continues. Tonight, the final installment. You're not real. You can't be real. Look at me.
Part of the performance?
I don't think so.
You dare hurt me. I created you. You can't exist without me. You gave me life. If I die, so do you. No. The radio waves give me power. I will live on. The blood will flow.
Well, what did the cops tell you?
By the time they got to the station, there was no one there but the body. All they can guess is that it's linked to the other two killings.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Why not? What with all we know?
Celia,
A fictional killer with a plate in his head did it.
Oh, yeah.
Worst of it is, it's not over. The Crusher kept talking after Driscoll was dead.
Well, the only way he could do that is if he can survive on his own. And that means he's still out there somewhere.
Right, the Crusher came after Driscoll when he realized that Driscoll was going to kill him in the story. Which means he must have believed Driscoll had the power to do so.
Yeah, but Driscoll's dead. And we don't even know how he was going to end the story.
We're just going to have to figure out our own ending.
It must be nice having the keys to the whole campus.
One of the perks of tenure.
Pretty obsolete stuff. I bet there's tubes in some of this junk.
Well, the question is, can you get it to work?
No question there. The question is, will this great idea of yours work? I bypassed the limiters and patched in a few extra amps. I'm probably gonna fry a few speaker coils because this thing's gonna distort big time.
Is there anything electronic you don't know about? Okay, now just tell me which one of these knobs to push.
Those are P&G full-throw faders
Whatever.
with GML automation.
Midnight. Once more, the forces of darkness and chaos gather. The sounds permeate his brain, and a new voice cuts through the noise, speaks to him clearly. The old voice was silenced before it could stop his pain. But now there's another, a stranger. He'll heed the voice. He'll come back to where it began and where it will end. He's searching for rest, silence, release from the horror.
We're off the air.
We're getting out of here. For a slow guy, he sure moves fast.
What do we do?
Look, he doesn't even know you're here. It's me he's after. I'll hold him off.
What? How?
I don't know. Just get the power back on.
But I don't even know what he's done to it.
Celia, you can do it. Just get me on the air.
Tried to take his place.
But then you'll never know how the story was supposed to end. If you hadn't killed the power, I would have beaten you.
No.
I know how you get your strength. I know about the voices. How they drive you, force you into a frenzy. radio waves fill you, engulf you.
Yes.
Blotting everything out. They push you to kill again and again.
Yes.
You shut down this transmitter, but there are dozens of other stations, all pouring out energy. Energy that funnels into you. I couldn't shut them all off, but I thought if I could just lure you here, boost the power, flood you with radio waves, it could have been more than you could stand. A complete overload.
But you failed, and the blood will flow.
We got him.
Yeah, Celia. We got him.